It's been so long. I don't know how to... Oh, I didn't change anything. I'm not streaming with the boys, I'm streaming with myself. Talking to myself right now. Listen to those chill Jimmy Jams. Where is my chat? I don't know how to use this site anymore. There we go. Sick. Sick niceness. I don't know what any of this shit is. Go away. Stop. 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 Skip means skip. Thank you. I haven't logged into Streamlabs in a while and they're just like, hey, you want all this shit? Hi! Okay, there's people. How's it going? I'm back! Technically I never went anywhere, but I'm here. Which is also just as important. Can you guys hear the music? Well, it's not playing right now. Wait. Wait. You can hear that, right? I hope so. Leslie! Thank you for the tier 1 for 18 months! Good God. Thank you, Leslie. I appreciate you still subbing, even though I haven't been here for ages. But I'm trying out the new internet. Let me check. Wait, Evelyn's streaming right now. I have to check hers to make sure she's not. Let me check. Oh. Perfectly fine. We can both finally stream at the same time. The future is now, old man. I want to tweet it out as well. Because again, I haven't done this in a very long time. I don't know what I'm doing. Well, that's every day. I never know what I'm doing. It should be good. No drop frames, no anything. That's awesome. About fucking time. Music is so calming. Well, I will do my best to ruin it completely for you. For any of you who don't know, who don't follow me on Twitter or anything, I got new internet. I've been waiting to get this internet for a long time. It's a leased line internet. It's business internet. So it costs a lot more than normal, but it's usually for like offices or businesses that need their own dedicated line coming to their workplace. And since I work from home, having crap internet is not good. When I was here on my own, it was fine. It still sucked and it still slowed me down a lot. But now having Evelyn here as well, both of us doing YouTube and trying to stream and everything all at the same time, we have to work around each other so much. And that just became, Casper, thank you for the 5 subs. That became such a pain in the ass lately, where if I had to upload something fast, it wasn't able to be done, and then there's no room for mistakes. If any of the videos got claimed or had to be re-edited or anything and then re-uploaded, it just made it even worse, which happens fairly often. So trying to upload both of our schedules at the same time and trying to do like Death Stranding, and then she was streaming Death Stranding and everything, and so many large videos had to go up in so much quantity of gigabytes. We'd like burn through hundreds of gigabytes a day just between uploads and everything. And then trying to sync stuff to Robin and everything. It just became too slow, so I decided to get a business line internet, which I was going to get at an office. Then I ended up not getting an office because I don't know, I changed my mind at one point. And now I got the internet that I was going to get there at my house. So it's much better, but it took like 3 months to get it installed, which was a lot longer than they said it was going to, but it's here. And now, I used to have 50 down and about 17 up, I think, on the other internet connection. Which is fine. It still works for Netflix and all that kind of stuff, it's fine. But to download games, it also was a pain in the ass, and games are getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Like, something like I think Red Dead Redemption was like 100 gigs or 80 gigs or something like that when it came out. So it was just a pain in the ass. And then now that we have this internet, so we went from 50 down to 300 down. The Lumberjack Jeff, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. And Angie, thank you for resubscribing for 15 months. There's a lot of these I'm missing, I'm sorry. But back in Ireland I used to have 300 down but about 50 up, and that was good. That was good internet there, but then I moved here and it got shit. So now the internet we have now is 300 down and 120 up. So it's not amazing. It's not like the best internet on the planet. When I was in LA, I had like 800 down and 600 up, which is fucking bananas. But it's really, really good for here now. Quite pricey for it, but worth it. Oh, Mark uploaded his response. I see. See how it is. I'll look at it after. Macho Cool Cat, thank you for the 16 months. Echo Eagle Eye, thank you for the 18 months. Lauren, thank you for the 17. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you who celebrated. I personally do not. Nobody over here does, unless you come from an area that previously you celebrated it and then you move over here. Looking good, dude. Thanks. Thanks, Hoodie. I literally could not look worse. I need a haircut. I need to shave. The reason I have my hoods up is because my hair's a mess, but thank you. I mean, yes, I look good. I need glasses because I can't see. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, so we don't celebrate Thanksgiving, but any of you out there who do celebrate Thanksgiving, I hope you had a good day. Nothing wrong with the hoodie life. Hey, Patrick. Amen. Hoodies are awesome, and especially when you have your own clothing brand of cloakbrand.com. Piece by Piece. Our new stuff, which I really, really like. I'm not big into tie-dye until this stuff came out, and I was like, oh, this stuff is really fucking cool. Also, we restocked stuff today for Thanksgiving. So if you want to get some more cloak stuff, some of the older stuff that we were selling is now back in stock. Rexy Zema! I probably said that wrong, but thank you for the 10 subs! Whoa! Do not shave. You always wanted a beard, now you can't. No, I'm not shaving it, I'm like trimming it. I mean, I will have a beard for the rest of my life. I'm not going to get rid of my beard. Mark roasted you again on Twitter? Pfft. That guy couldn't roast a turkey on Thanksgiving. Will I let my beard grow out? Nah. I tried it when I started growing it out this year, end of last year. It doesn't look that good. It gets a little too scraggly. I know Mark posted about me on Twitter. I'll look at it afterwards. I'm not going to look at it right now. Stop spamming it. Tree, thank you for the 1,000 bits. America Fat Day. Every day is Fat Day everywhere. Everybody eats a lot of food all the time everywhere. Well, not everywhere. That's a stupid thing to say. Every day for me is Fat Day. I eat like shit. Should be eating better lately. What's up? Hi, chat. Darth, thank you for the Prime sub. Kelly, thank you for the 10 bits. I can say hi to my niece Tia. Hi, Tia. Are you part of Tia and Tamara? Sister, what up? 1440p. Am I streaming at 1440p? Oops. I'm not supposed to be. Wait, what the hell is my stream set to? Yep, 1440p. Well, that's a mistake. I changed some of my settings around to make it use the internet better. I guess I just didn't do the resolution properly. 4K streams. Let's do it. Why not? How many retweets to keep the beard going? Not enough, Patrick. I don't know, it grows at different speeds. So this part all sticks out and then this part, and it's just a pain in my dick to maintain. And then it just puffs out and random hairs go everywhere. It just doesn't look good. Spicy, thank you for the tier 1 sub. Can we just talk about Little Misfortune? It's amazing. Yes! Humble. I meant to play it for so long and then I didn't. And I kept putting it off because what I wanted to do was... It was coming out and then I was going to play it and it came out at a time when I was traveling. And then I was like, okay, when I get back, I'll do the whole thing. I'm late to it, so I'll do the whole thing in one video. And then the more that went on, the more I was like, I don't really want to have to sit down for like 3 hours to do that. I know I sat down for 3 hours to do Death Stranding, but that was... You need to do that to make any progress in that game. I don't know, I just couldn't really find the motivation or the time to do it. So that's why it's split up into bits now. Am I losing the beard? No. Who said that? I didn't. Your glasses look really nice. Thank you. I had to get new glasses again because I didn't really like the old ones and I didn't know what my prescription was. So when I was in LA, I got a test done again. And now I actually have like my prescription written out and memorized and put away, filed. Because before I just got it and I was like, oh cool, I get my glasses. And then I lost it and forgot what my prescription was. So I made sure that when I was getting glasses again, I wanted to get like a really nice pair. Subnautica made me follow you, Jack. That's nice. Subnautica's a good game. I'm waiting for the Below Zero stuff to finalize and then I'll play that again. Am I looking forward to the Black Widow film next year? Not really. I don't care for Black Widow. I don't really care about her as a character. I mean, I'll still watch it, of course. I just don't really care. Green PewDiePie, you got me. That's me. Say a Swedish word, please. I'm Swedish. Jävla fitta. Den jävla fitta. Vad fan. Ah, vad fan, mannen. She died to save the world? I don't care. I just, nothing against Scarlett Johansson, nothing against the Avengers movies and everything. I really like those movies. It's just Black Widow as a character I don't care about. And I never have. It's the same with Hawkeye. I don't give a shit about Hawkeye. Sure, he fires arrows and that's cool and all. But when you're in the middle of Spider-Man, Thor, Iron Man, Captain America and all these dudes, it's like Hawkeye and Black Widow are like, yeah, whatever. Bilo Green, thank you for the 300 bits. Lauren, thank you for the 100 bits. So you're gonna grow your hair out again, or is the man bun gone forever? I'll grow my hair out again sometime. I don't have any plans right now. Right now I just haven't got a haircut. Raza Hopkins, thank you for the Prime sub. Fresh Gaming for the tier 1, and Corey, thank you for the 7 months. Siri, thank you for the 100 bits. What do you think about Little Misfortune so far? I actually recorded the last episode of it today. I loved it. It's a great game. Any green hair plans recently? Nope. Have I tried FNAF AR yet? I haven't. I should. Seems like it might be decent. You should shave. No, I shouldn't. Green nose hair. Now there's a big brain idea. That might be fun. Pastel, thank you for the 16 months. By the way, I don't have any plans for this stream. I'm just here to hang out and chat. Now that I actually can. Now that we have good internet again, I feel like I can actually stream better and more often. Show off your index controllers? Nah, they're not in the room. Are you doing well? I am. I'm doing great. Me and Evelyn have been playing Dark Souls 3 together over the last couple of days. We spent hours playing that. It's been nice. I got a little bit ahead on videos, so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take some time and relax. Get a bottle of wine, play some Dark Souls, go through the game together, because I've never played a Souls game or Bloodborne or anything like that with another person. So we just have set up in our living room where both PlayStations are together and we just play it together there. And it's been fucking awesome. Can you bring the cat out? He's sleeping in the living room right now. I don't want to disturb him. How long will I be streaming? No idea. Maybe an hour or two. Milan, thank you for the 19 months. Thank you for seeing my JJ and Chase edits. Thank you for making them. They were really nice. Septic Short, thank you for the 9 months. Twitch Baby. Oh yeah! Twitch Baby! Welcome! A new BB for the world. Charles Bag, thank you for the 2 months. Under, thank you for the 100 bits. These are for BB. Which BB? Bridge Baby or Big Boss? The cat. Fuck you! Thank you for the tier 1 sub. Do you plan on getting the blue light fixed? Nah. I think it adds character. I think it adds personality to the scene. Don't you think? I think he's great. He's lovely, just the way he is. What camera do you use for the live stream? I like the quality. This is a Sony A7R II with a 55? With a 55 milliliter. You fit so much water in this lens. 55 mil lens with 1.8 FE. Yeah. So it's really nice. I like 55 mil's not great for this type of stuff because the camera is like the camera's more than my arm's reach away. It's like an arm and a half away because 55 mil is whoop, right in on you, but it gives this nice really popped depth of field behind you. It really makes me stand out from the background because of that millimetion. I just made up a word for that. You like that? What up? But the f-stop on it is low too, so it can go dark. So even with the lights off, you'd still be able to see me and it wouldn't just completely black out. But I really like it. My camera's kind of fucked up though, because my autofocus doesn't work. As you can clearly see in a lot of the videos, where it does this like pulsing thing. And I thought the lens was broken. I thought the autofocus on the lens was kind of banged around, and I got a new lens, and it is the exact same. So it's a problem with the camera. It just suddenly happened one day, so either I need to change my settings again, even though they look really nice the way they are right now, but it's as soon as I go back, then I'm lost. And I really like the fast autofocus of the A7s, and also the Zeiss lenses. Oh yeah, it's a Sony Zeiss lens as well. It's all very expensive for this type of stuff. I would, unless you actually will use it a lot, then I wouldn't recommend something like this for streaming, because it's just way too much. It's too much money for the camera and the lens just for face cam. But I use it for more than just this stuff. I use it for like the live action stuff, and then this type of stuff is what we use on the tour documentary and some of the ego stuff as well. Hey, Watermelon, what's up? Zeiss are costly, yeah, but they're gorgeous. Not only are they really good, they're super fast. They snap really quickly with autofocus, but they're also dead silent. I have another lens here. Let me show you. So, the 55mm is the lens I use for most stuff, but then I have this lens, which is what is this? A 35mm. It's a fat 35mm. So it's wider. Oh. I pulled out my headphones so I can't hear anything anymore. So it's a wider lens to be able to capture stuff like VR, and then I got this one, which is what is this? A 20mm, but it goes to something else. I can't remember. This is a big bitch. It's gorgeous though. Such a nice big lens. But this is a Sigma lens, so it's not for Sony cams, so it needs an adapter on the back of it to be able to work with the Sony computer chip stuff. But this thing is loud as all hell when it's autofocusing. which is fine because it doesn't get picked up from the mic anyway, but I'm just saying it really made me appreciate the Zeiss lenses and how fast and silent these are for autofocus. See you later, hey Hannah. I'd like to thank the mods for being on top of taking care of stuff. You guys rock. Yeah. Appreciate the mods. The mods work hard. Not only here, but the Discord as well. Oh, also, yeah, there's a Discord. If you... I opened up a Discord a while back as just a way for people to be able to chill out and hang out and just have another place to be able to go, especially a place with voice chats. Stay Home Goblin, thank you for the 10 subs, wow. Thanks for always being here. Stay Home Goblin's one of the MVPs of our charity streams. The first one to always donate a huge amount. What's up, Bright Swim? Bruh. What was I talking about? I have the worst fucking memory. So ADD, I lose everything immediately. What was I talking about? Oh, the mods and Discord, yeah. I opened up the Discord to just Tumblr people a while back because it was the smallest of the social medias that I have and I didn't want the thing to be bombarded because Evelyn's always had one for her Twitch. And I always liked that. It was always cool seeing people interact and she always shows me stuff that people are talking about there and her mods all kind of hang out and chat there and it was really cool. So I wanted to do one for this community and everybody always seems to have a Discord. Kurokirisu, thank you for the 10,000 bits! So I made a Discord and then opened it up to Tumblr people because it was only like 1,000 or 2,000 at the beginning, or a couple of hundred even. And it was easier to figure out, okay, what works, how do people interact with it, is this stuff clear? And then I opened it up to more people and more people there, just to get more in. And then I didn't want to open it up to everybody all the time because it would just break. So then I opened it up to Twitter, and then recently I opened it up to people on YouTube through the community tab. And then now there's like 60,000 members in it. It went from like 10,000 after the Twitter one to 60,000 after the YouTube one. Thankfully it still works and it's still up and running, but a big part of that is the mods. They work so damn hard to keep that place up and running. And sure, it may seem like stuff can be a little harsh at times, but it's needed to keep things moving. There's so many moving parts to it, especially for a server that large. If you just let people go do what they want, it gets a little messy and it gets a little dangerous. Especially for people of all ages and ethnicities and sexual orientations and everything. We want to try and keep it an even ground, a neutral ground for people to be able to come and keep it a safe place as well. So that's a very hard thing to do without pissing some people off. But the mods do a really great job at it, and especially here as well, like they're really on top of things. It's a hard thing to do. I don't think I'd be able to do it. Yeah, the rules keep it organized. I think the rules are, for the most part, pretty fair. And they kind of change as we go depending on how things are going. Because there's a lot of stuff that happens and then we're like, I didn't know you could do that. I didn't know that that was a thing. And people find ways around being able to post links in different places and everything, so it's crazy. Yeah, my watermelon, my community one expired. I should actually just delete that community post. It was only open for 24 hours. Again, I don't want to keep it open for everybody all the time because then it gets spammed, it gets bombarded. It just gets over flooded too quickly. And this time when we opened it up to YouTube people, even through the community tab, the 60,000 people that entered, or 40,000 something, it broke it. I couldn't even access my own Discord server for a good hour because it was just broken. I'll open it again to more people eventually, but we are doing a thing where if you sub here, there's going to be stuff in the Discord that will be, like, there'll be a room for people who sub here to be able to hang out and chat and everything. Just as a way to kind of give back. I've been so paranoid over the years about doing things like that and stuff with, like, YouTube memberships and things, because it's easy to, like, splinter the community too much, and I don't want to put too many things behind a paywall, but at the same time there's people who are just supporting me here, like people who have been subbed for months and months and months, and I'm not even uploading anything. And the same on YouTube. I don't do anything for the members, and I feel bad about that, and people are just kind of supporting, and a lot of you will be like, well, we just want to help. And that's really incredibly sweet, and I really appreciate it, but I do want to do something for you. I want to give you something for it. And I don't want it to seem unfair for other people or whatever, but also, if you guys are willing to like pay and support me, and especially in troubling times when YouTube ad rates are collapsing and falling all over the place, then I should be doing a little bit more for you. So subs here should be getting stuff. I think you can link it to Discord now. I'm not sure. Mods, can you? I don't know. I'm not sure yet if that's up and running. Charlie messaged me, said, not to flex too hard, but in Tampa it's 500 up and down. Okay, well you also have to live in Florida, which is part of a problem, and that's a big no-no. Yeah, 500 up and down is fucking great. But I'm just happy that I'm able to download games in like 10 minutes now. I uploaded the Scary Games video today was like 3 gigs, and it only took 3 minutes to upload it. That would have taken like 40 minutes before, if not an hour. Jake McBoss, thank you for the 100 bits. You inspired me to make content almost 4 years ago. Best decision I ever made. Good for you, man. I'm happy for you. Megan, thank you for the tier 1 sub. And Tris Doodles, thank you for the 21 months. Holy shit, I'm not even 21 months old. Septic Scum, thank you for the 200 bits. How are your Sony headphones? I have a pair, but my touchpad is iffy. Yeah, I don't really use this. This is like a, for anyone who doesn't know, this is a touchpad to be able to like fast forward songs and up the volume and things like that. And you can hold your hand over it, and it puts down the volume in the headphones and turns off the noise cancelling so you can hear stuff around you. Which is like, yes! I'm listening! That's not the gesture people do for listening, that's the complete opposite. Green Pews, hey, another one! Got him! What's up, Kenobi, my lad? General Kenobi! Okay, I know you're all flexing with your internet speeds, but you have to realize that Britain is notorious for horrible internet infrastructure. It's fucking garbage everywhere. So this is a win for me. Let me have it instead of trying to let me know how much better yours is, okay? Fuck you! Chultic, thank you for the tier 1 sub, as well as Ava, thank you. And the other Ava, thank you for the 100 bits. 20 months sub anniversary today. I don't think you know what an anniversary means, Ava. 20 months anniversary? Pfft. But yeah, I would have said the same thing. I said a 4-month-year-old in my video the other day without even batting an eye. I didn't even realize it was wrong until the comments said it. But if anyone asks, it was a joke. And I'm very smart. My friends are scolding me for not watching Star Wars. I mean, it is a huge piece of pop culture, but if you don't want to watch it, then who cares? There's so many Disney movies I haven't seen, and every time I tell people, they're like, oh my god. Like, I don't care. Under, thank you for the 100 bits. I'm getting all my grey male, I'm getting an all grey male kitten in a little bit. What should I name him? Oh, that's really great. Name him Grey Fox. Grey Fox. Metal Gear. Colonel, can you hear me? You don't have to, of course. Just name it whatever you want. Call them Silver. Nate, be cool. Thank you for the tier 1 sub. Lauren, thank you for the 100 bits. There's a Netflix show I think you might like if you haven't seen it yet called The Dragon Prince. I have not. I'll look into it. Thank you. I want to watch The Mandalorian. I figured out a way of being able to watch The Watchmen HBO show with Now TV here. I haven't started it yet, but I'm really interested in it. But even Mandalorian, I can't get Disney Plus here. I've even tried a VPN. I have a NordVPN subscription and it doesn't work. My Little Misfortune voice is really good. Thank you. Evelyn's is much better. She does a great, Little Misfortune. Hardy, thank you for the 100 bits. Been following you donkey's years. I was gonna say you're definitely Irish or Scottish, and I was like, just wanted to know what you think of Scotland, and can you do a Scottish accent? I cannot. I can do like the super cheesy shitty one, like, okay. A wee bit of a Scottish accent. But it's shit. I'm good at parroting voices. If I hear them a lot, I can probably do it pretty well. But right now I'm trying to like remember what a Scottish person sounds like, and then I can't really remember what Scottish people sound like. When is the next Minecraft episode? I know. I'll do it. I don't want to say soon because I feel like I'll fuck it up. It's just, so many other games came out and it's just kind of, honestly, I kind of forgot about it. And I feel really bad. I ended the last one on going into the Ender Dragon. I'll definitely at least beat the Ender Dragon in an episode, and then we'll see what I do in Minecraft after that. Smooth Gentleman, thank you for the tier 1 sub. Vimetrics, thank you for the 8 months. Thanks for helping me smile when I thought I couldn't. Oh, that's really sweet, thank you. Do you have some YouTube advice? Same advice I give all the time, just have fun with it. There's so much stuff kind of in the way of creativity lately that going into it trying to make it big will probably just be like beating your head against the wall and will drive you crazy, and you'll end up getting disappointed with yourself. Not only getting disappointed with the progress of it, but the progress of YouTube and the numbers of YouTube become such a big part of who you are. And I try not to let it be that way, and a lot of YouTubers do, but it does. It's hard not to have it reflect on you as a person, unless you're the type of YouTube channel that has like a company and a business, and you're just looking at sheer metrics all the time for like quarters and things like that. But if you're a YouTuber like me who kind of just does it on their own with an editor, and it's still you just kind of sitting down recording in your room, then it's hard not to let the numbers become part of who you are. But when those numbers start shifting one way or another, it's gonna start messing you up. So if you're just making it for the sake of making it and having fun with it, then you kind of mitigate some of that. Landshark, thank you for this Prime sub. Hey Jane! Thanks for stopping by. What does BB do right now? He is sleeping on his cat tower. Will I play Outer Worlds? Is that the Obsidian one? What's the other one I played? There's Outer Worlds and Outer Wilds. But the Obsidian one I haven't played yet. I'm kind of saving it for like a rainy day when I just kind of run out of games to play, and then I can just sit down and be like, oh, I want to go on an adventure. It's lagging some? It shouldn't be. Everything's A-okay on my end, so it might be on yours. Am I ever going to give Jackie Boy Man a real name? I mean, right now he doesn't have one. But that might be a fun idea. Really good quality now. I know, right? It's great. Hesitating? I'm not hesitating. I'm thinking. Will you be playing Sally Face? Yeah. Comes out next month, right? We're gonna see Marvin or Jackie Boy Man anytime soon. They are the next ones that I have to do. I want to do more with them. Jackie Boy Man I've done more with than Marvin. Has Marvin only ever shown up once? For that Marvin's Magic Power Hour? And I haven't done anything with him since, but he's one of my favorites. Because he's so visually striking. He's the most visually satisfying character, I think. But the problem that's happening with them now is that Chase is just a regular dude. He just walks around and he does his own regular life. JJ he's basically regular, but he's the result of filters and stuff for the editing side of it. So it's a little easier to do, but Jackie Boy Man, and especially Marvin, because Jackie Boy Man's a superhero, so to do a story with him that's not just lame and boring and him sitting around in his house or something, which could work, but I want to like show him in action. And to do that, you need sets and costumes and characters and visual effects. And then coming with Marvin is even harder because he's very visually effects driven because he has magic. So to do stuff with them is gonna take more time, it's gonna take more budget, and it's just gonna be a bigger undertaking that you actually need like a bit of a crew to pull off. So I'm gonna make sure that I have stuff written properly first. And then I'll make sure, because I don't want to go into it with half-assed ideas and then be like, okay, well this could work and that could work, because then it just comes out as a half-assed project. So I want to make sure that going into it we have all the stuff in place and then it'll look cool. But I do have like stuff written. Like I have a little notepad that I keep with me like all the time. So whenever I'm watching like TV shows or I'm on the train, Siri, no. Or I'm on the train, or I'm going somewhere, or I'm watching a movie, or anything. Anytime I like inspiration strikes, where I see something, and then I'm like, oh, that like reminds me of something else, and I'm like, oh, I could do that or this, and stuff it's basically like my ego inspiration diary. So it has like character profiles in it, and it has just like one-liners for what I want. Like one of the things I wrote down is completely maniacal laughing. Big brain. It's not like Auntie's never done that before. So it's stuff like that, and it's full of like, I have certain scenes in my head that I want to do, but they're not connected yet. But it's just like cool visual imagery, and like it's kind of the bare bones of like a story. It's not like script stuff. It's more visual identity and sound identity. Because it was the same with the Schneepelstein and the Chase one, or just Chase. Is that a JoJo reference? The Chase video had a very distinct sound effect at the end of it that I put in purposefully, because it has an identity. It has like, once you hear that, you're like, oh, it like sticks in your head. Instead of just like a random sci-fi sound effect, I wanted to make sure that it had like a bite to it, and if you heard it again, it would remind you of that. But I have such big plans for this stuff that I'm kind of beating my head against the wall to be like, okay, how do I get this done? How do I make it really big budget without having to spend like $1 million on it? These things are very expensive to do. The camera that Chase was shot on, just to rent it for like 2 days, was about $6,000. And then it becomes like a cost versus efficiency kind of thing, versus a recoupment kind of thing. Not that I mean, I'm not like broke by doing this or anything, but you don't want to just throw money at things, especially if they're not going to really work out. So, like, the camera we used was an Ari Alexa cam, which is, I don't know, Tucker knows more about it. He was the one who rented it. And they're really expensive to rent. And that was a deal that we got. And then, but like buying a camera like that and the lens on a camera like the lenses on them alone, a really good anamorphic lens is about $50,000. So renting it for that price is actually really efficient, but it's like the more we do it, it's the same with the Troy and Matt Mercer interviews and the one with Aaron as well. Like those are the same cameras. So it costs quite a bit of money to do them, but they look so good. So I want to keep doing that kind of stuff and really make it look really nice and have a really nice visual identity to it. And the Chase video I'm really fucking proud of. I even premiered that on my channel, and I haven't premiered anything else on my channel, but that was like such a big thing that I was really excited for, that I sat down and I premiered it because I wanted to see people's reactions like this live. And when it was about to go live, that's the most nervous I've ever been doing anything on YouTube. Going out to do a show on tour wasn't even as nerve-wracking as that. Because it was just I don't know. It was something that I really liked, and I was like, oh god, I hope people enjoy it. And I kept teasing it out because I love doing that. And doing like Easter eggs and little hidden stuff here and there, and that's my forte. So I was doing that, and I was like, oh god, I hope people aren't expecting too much out of this. Because it was only 4 minutes long, and I was like hinting at it for so long, and then it looks like a movie, and then it's over in 4 minutes. So I was like, I hope people like it. And thankfully people did. It was, the response to that was crazy, so thank you. It's only like a tiny snippet as well. It's only a tiny little piece of the whole story. So I want to do much more like that next year. I'm going to take time next year to really do proper ego stuff. That everyone's going to be like, oh my god, it's happening! But, come on, you knew that I was going to do that eventually. If you didn't, then you haven't been paying attention. But I really want to go hard on it next year and, like, really work out a really big ego project next year. And that's what this kind of stuff is for, is, like, getting all the visual pieces in place and getting all the character traits and how they interact with each other and where they're going and how we juggle all these balls. But I have... The story I want to tell is pretty high concept, and it's not straightforward, so it's going to take a lot of planning. But hopefully when it's done, I don't want to just go into it and be like, yeah, can somebody fund this thing? YouTube, can you do a premium originals thing? And then go into it with like half-assed ideas. Like I need to make sure that it's done properly. Am I going to Ireland for Christmas again? No, we're going to spend Christmas here. Because Evelyn moved in recently and her cat's here now, and we don't want to travel too much around the cat, and we're going to LA next month for the charity stream again. So next month on the 14th is going to be the Thankmas charity stream. That's why there's no stream this month for November, because last month's was a big thing with Team Trees. The one before that was the one with Amelia Clark, and they've all been like such gigantic streams that this, and then the next one being on the 14th and not the end of December, it felt like everything was kind of too close and I was asking a bit too much. But yeah, December 14th is going to be the really big Christmas charity stream, and we have a couple of things planned for that I think will help us raise a lot of money. So I'm really excited for that one. But also Game Awards are next month as well, and they kind of coincide. Game Awards are on the 12th, and then we're going for the 14th for the stream, so... And there's other business things that I have to do in LA, because of course everybody's over there doing all the stuff. I have another thing that I'm trying to get off the ground that I need to go do, like, some... I don't know, not tests for, but I need to, like, be there to check out stuff. That will hopefully be launching next year. Well, it should be launching next year, but it's something that I think is a really great idea, and I'm really excited for. And it's something that I'm really, like, genuinely interested in, that I don't think people will expect me to actually do. But we do have a pin for this month. Can some of the mods link to the merch site? There's a pin for Movember. I can actually bring it up on screen. Yes, entirely, exactly the size I wanted. This is a pin for November, so we're not doing a stream. Thanks, Camilla. We're not doing a stream, and a Tiltify page for the reasons I just explained, but we're still doing a pin because I said I would do a pin every month so you could have a full collection, and people are starting to get their pin boxes and their pins are going into them, and it's really nice to look at. So this is one for Movember. He's wearing the mustache of Movember, which is like 2 strong arms, and Movember, of course, is something that a lot of people know about. For November, it's a men's health awareness month. And it coincided with a really nice pin idea, so I was like, okay, that's cool, let's do that. He's wearing a little top hat because it looks like JJ, and I love it. So you can get that on Jacksepticeye.com. And the proceeds of that will all be going towards the Movember Foundation. It almost looks like JJ. That's, yeah, it's kind of the point. Am I releasing all the past pins for next month's stream? Yes. That was something that I wanted to make sure would happen because I I knew halfway through the year I'd be like, oh, these are all exclusive pins for this month. Because we wanted people to, like, the more pins you buy, the more money gets raised for charity, of course. But halfway through the year, we started realizing, like, okay, so people didn't realize it was a thing that was happening each time, even though I said it. But halfway through the year, then people were like, oh man, I missed out on these ones. I didn't know you were doing this. So for next month's stream, we're just going to release all of them back on the website. Well, that's the plan. So I'll talk to the merch people and make sure that they're all for sale again. And then we'll probably do a bundle with the box, the Perspex box that you can put them all in and you can buy them all at once. And they'll all go out to you and you can put them all, like, together. They'll all arrive at the same time. And we'll have a final pin design for December as well. And of course, yeah, not just people missing out on them, but people who couldn't afford them. That's a good point. People who just didn't have their paychecks ready, or they just didn't have the money at the time to be able to get them then, that missed out on them too. So I want to bring them back for everybody to be able to get again. Yeah, and especially if people's pins got damaged or anything like that, or lost, or there's a bunch of different reasons, but yeah. Is the tour documentary still coming out sometime? Yes. I apologize wholeheartedly for that. I know that I've said it's coming for a really long time. I wanted it done mid this year. For summertime, it got delayed, it got postponed. There's stuff going on in the background that I'm not going to go into that delayed it a lot, that really annoyed me and frustrated me. But I have seen a good chunk of what it looks like, and it's still coming. It's still being released. Part of the problem with it now is that it's been a year since I've toured, so we're trying to figure out how to make sure that people still want to even get it. Leslie, thank you for the 10 subs. Thanks, Leslie. I'm trying to figure out a way to make sure that people still want to see it and get it, and how we release it. Things like that. It's become kind of a thorn in my ass, but I think the end result that I've started to see looks really cool. So I think that when it's released, I think it's going to have a lot of heart to it. I think there's a lot of emotion to it. I think there's a lot of cool stuff that happened on tour. The documentary is basically just an entire arc of what it was like to be on tour and what I learned and who I was as a person. Because the idea of the tour was, how did we get here? Which, if you were at the show, you know what the story was about. But if you weren't, it was basically a show about how I started off my life. The show was broken into 3 arcs, which was my childhood, my teenagehood, and my adulthood. My childhood was all about my family and where I grew up and what kind of place I lived in and the identity I had starting off my life and what kind of games I played as a kid. And then we brought somebody up to play Pokemon because that was the game I played as a kid, and that was the game I first remember really attaching myself to on my Game Boy. Then my teenage years is everyone's formative time of their life. Their teenage years in your early 20s is when you really start to learn who you are. And for me, that was the toughest part of my life because I was miserable. I was really depressed in the latter half of my teen years because moving to a cabin in the woods, I had no friends, I didn't know what I was doing with my life, I left college, I just felt like an idiot. I didn't like myself. There was a bunch of different reasons. My family has never really gotten along together the best. A bunch of different stuff for that. And then turning to YouTube was kind of like an outlet for me. So my teenage years for that part of the show is what made me start YouTube and where I was and what type of person I was. And then my adulthood is talking about what it's like to do YouTube. And then suddenly you're up on stage talking to like 2,000 people and doing a show about that part of your life. And everyone always asks, how do you start YouTube? What do you do? What's your advice? How do I get the numbers? How do I get views? All these types of things. And my show is basically a way to break all of that down, to break down the facade, to humanize it and show like, no, here's my life. Here's how I started. Here's where I went. Here's what my thought process was. And now I'm up here talking to you. There's nothing very unique about it. There's nothing completely special about it. I'm just a dude who had an idea and worked hard at it and got a little bit lucky, and then now I'm here. So how did we get here? This is it. I'm showing you. And then the show ends with empowering people to go do it for themselves or do whatever they want to do. To go out and be the heroes of their own stories. So the whole show is basically like, I didn't want to do a show where I got up and I was like, look, I'm YouTube man, ha ha ha, games. Because I knew people would show up for a show, and I knew that if we did it a certain way that, like Brent said, if I did a show and I went out and shit on stage, some people would call that art and they'd be like, haha, he's so funny, YouTube man, I love Jacksepticeye. But I didn't want to just put your butts in seats because I could. I wanted to give like a message and have a purpose for it, and anybody who didn't know me, and to open it up and show you like, okay, here's who I am. You might know me as the loud screamy sweary dude on YouTube, but I have a life, I'm a person. I want to humanize myself so you can see me as a person and not just somebody who's on stage. And a lot of it was inspired by Bo Burnham's Make Happy special, because that was something that, it could have just been fun jokes, but he had something to say. He had a purpose to be up on stage, and not all of it was nice, but it stuck with me. Like, that show made me cry the first time I watched it, and it always stuck with me, and it had such a powerful message behind it. So I wanted to create a show that I had a message behind, that I had a purpose, that I had some sort of reason to get up on stage to do it, other than the fact that I could. And I'm very, very proud of the show. I think it turned out great. So you'll be able to see a lot of that and who I am as a person. It's not so much, the documentary's not so much me sitting down and being like, okay, so this joke is in here because of this, and I talked about this because of that. I think a lot of that's in the show, but the documentary is good to show who I am as a person through it, and I'm fascinated to look at it as well, because I don't know who I am as a person half the time. I don't think many people do. You think you do, but it's when you see yourself through somebody's eyes, through somebody else's lens, that you start seeing a whole different angle of yourself that you never knew was there. So I think it's interesting to open that up and show what tour life was like and what I started off as, and I went through like different relationships, different personal relationships during that period as well, and like how did my demeanor change? How did me as a person change? How did my mentality change? Did I get better? Did I get worse? And that to me is what's interesting. That's the artistic side of it. Because just doing a documentary and being like, here's where we went, like, it's basically a vlog then at that point, and that to me is not interesting. Calling out Mini-Lad, aren't you? No, I'm not calling out anybody. I'm not trying to say that if you do that type of show, that's bad. That's not what I'm saying at all. That's a perfectly fine show to do. Lots of people do that. That's what musicians do. They just get up and play the classics, and that's fine. You can do that, and I have a lot of respect for that as well, because it's hard to get up on stage and do a show. It takes a lot out of you to be able to do that, to be able to craft it and do it, so more power to anybody who wants to do a live show. I'm just saying, to me, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to do something else. I'm not trying to make it seem like that I think I'm better than other people who did that. That was not my intent at all. I'm sorry if that's the way it was coming across. But we just started coming up with some decent ideas about where I grew up, and I've always wanted to try out stand-up comedy, and it was just a good amalgamation of a bunch of ideas. And then it started to like merge into this other thing. So the first few shows, like the first leg of tour, the show was not the way it was at the end of tour, and I think that's interesting to see as well, to see how much better I got at it. So the whole idea of the whole show and me going on tour and the documentary and everything is all this stuff about change as a person. How do people change? What do you learn as you go? Who do you look to? Who do you talk to? Who become your close friends? And then we got a really great bond with people on tour as well. And some of my best friends now, like Tucker. I didn't know Tucker before tour. I didn't know Justin before tour. And now they're some of my best friends ever. I'm only streaming to steal the spotlight away from my girlfriend. Sure. I don't even think we share that many viewers. Currently it's sit-down comedy. Yeah, that's what I do day to day. Sit-down comedy. It was a lovely experience watching that show. I'm glad. I'm glad that you had fun. Sure, more viewers than you think. Maybe. But now it's just a case of the fact that I can stream at the same time. That my internet's actually good enough now to be able to stream at the same time. Because otherwise, I'm just kind of like sitting around doing nothing. The Alien Rose, thank you for the Prime sub. Sorry, I'm missing some. Ducky, thank you for the 2 months. Ice Dragon, thank you for the 100 bits. Lauren, thank you for the 100 bits. Smurtle, thank you for gifting a sub. Nostalgic Danny, thank you for the 3 months. Becca Still, thank you for the 7 months. And for the lovely sweet message, thank you, Becca. Hippopotamus, thank you for the Prime. Girl of Steel, thank you for the 100 bits. Come to Canada, my boy. We have Ryan Reynolds. The craziest thing happened recently. We, because the stuff about Free Guy came out, the movie that he's in next year, and I am so fucking excited that I actually get to be in that movie. And I always stop myself talking about this stuff because I'm like, I don't want to seem like I'm showing off or anything. But you know what? This is a really fucking big deal, and I'm going to have my own personal little flex session right now because I want to feel good about the things that I've done for myself and for the community and for just the fact that I fucking started in a cabin in the woods and now I'm in a movie with Ryan Reynolds. So, okay, just let me have my moment. I'm really fucking excited for that. I got to see some of it. The director called me, and not only that, but when I recorded the lines for the movie, I DM'd Ryan on Twitter and said that I recorded them, and he DM'd back in like 5 minutes, and he was so nice, and it was amazing, and I was having a really big freak out fanboy session, and it was fucking nuts. And I wished him a happy birthday recently in a DM, and he said thank you, and then after the Chase video came out, and I sent in my lines for the movie and everything, he messaged me out of the blue, without me messaging him, saying that I was an amazing actor. Ryan Reynolds DM'd me and said that I was an amazing actor. And that's one of my biggest, proudest things about anything ever. And it was so fucking cool. And I was so giddy, and I went to Evelyn and I was like, look! Oh god, it was so fucking cool. I'm so glad that he's as nice in private as he is online. And for his movies and everything and his interviews. He's so fucking sweet. I love that man. I want to be that man. But I don't want to keep talking about those kinds of things because everyone's like, guys, just do celebrity stuff for clout. Like, no, I'm not. That's stupid. When have I ever done stuff for clout? When have I ever used the term clout? Ryan is incredible. At least that's something that we can all agree on here. I don't think there's a single person in chat who would disagree with that. Stan Twitter language. But yeah, that made me very happy. Because yeah, I sent in the lines, I recorded them like for the thing, and I sent them in, and I was like, I don't know, they didn't say anything about them yet, and I was like, did I do good? They didn't tell me to redo them, which I would gladly do, because that's what direction is, but I hadn't heard anything back, and then Ryan just DM'd me saying that, and I was like, oh, and it was the day the Chase video came out as well, and I was like, oh, I was so nervous for that. Concept creator, you dislike Ryan Reynolds a lot? Why would you dislike him? How could you dislike him? He's so nice. Dislike the movies he's in. That's fair enough. That's whatever. I don't like every movie he's in either, but dislike him as a person? What? What are you hyonking, dude? Appreciation nut. No, it's No Nut November! No respectful nuts. Sassy, thank you for the tier 1 sub. That's really sweet. Black Blade Blue, thank you for the Prime sub. Nipa Shadow, thank you for the 13 months. Wow. A whole year. Luna, thank you for the 19 months. 7 years, wow. What did Mark do? Mark pulled down his pants and started peeing everywhere and said that it was art. And thought that he could start a war with an Irishman. Pfft. Nah, dude. He's gonna get clapped. Kudo Kirisu, thank you again. Kudo has given 15,000 bits. Jesus Christ, thank you. That's really sweet. You don't need to do that. I can't get the cloak survival kit to ship to Europe for some reason. Really? I wonder why that is. I'll put in a word about that and ask. Thanks for bringing it up, though. Casper, thank you for the 5 gifted subs again. That's really sweet. My loyalty's with Mark on this one, dude? Sure. Okay. I see how it is. He popped off about you not being smart, but you were the Gaelic gladiator and the smartest yonk. Okay. Anybody who needs to attack somebody else's intelligence is the type of person who's insecure about their own. That's all I'm gonna say. Holy shit! We don't whisper. Thank you for the 10 gifted subs. Holy crap. Thank you. That's really sweet. Everyone say thank you. Mark small PP, you big brain. That should be the response. Me big brain, you small PP. For the last one, I really wanted to just reply with, no you. Just play his entire video and either reply with no you or okay boomer. It's like, nah, I should put some effort into it. I big brain. I big smarty brain. I big all the brain. I cloak. Piece by piece. How's the whiteboard doing? Not great, actually. This corner of it, well, it's not going to autofocus now. That corner of it is starting to come out of the wall. I found a screw on the ground and I was like, where did this come from? And then I realized it had bits of wall on it because I smacked it too hard and one of them flung out. Yeah, Mark's 30 and I'm not yet. I still have a bit of time to pull the boomer card. In February, I can't do that anymore. Concept, thank you for the 500 bits. Nah, joke, Ryan seems cool. I figured you were joking, because no one would be able to say that with a straight face. Also seen updates for Below Zero, rewatching your Subnautica series. I saw a tweet about it, but I don't really want to get into it, and then I don't really know where I'm going and where the updates are and looking for them, and then just seeing the updates. I kind of want to wait for it to all come out, and then I can do the whole thing again. Make cloak, not war. No! War is upon you, whether you would have it or not. That's a Lord of the Rings quote. The light's still broken. It's not broken, it's just stylized. It's just a caricature now. I'm the big brain boy, the one who do the thinkies. Yes. Thank you for the 100 bits, Turquoise. The Slayer, thank you for the tier 1 sub. I mean, we all know that I'm the real brains behind Cloak anyway. Just saying. And I look better in it. Just saying. At least that's something else we can agree on in chat. You should have replied with bro, you mad. I should have replied with hoes mad. Hoes mad. Just completely TikTok his ass. Be gone, boomer. But yes, there is cloak stuff back up on the site right now. Some old cloak stuff, if you want to go get it. Some of the stuff that released in the beginning. My favorite, personally, is the dark digital camo tee. Because I'm not a fan of camo patterns, the green and darkish ones, but we have a digital camo pattern on the cloak stuff, and I was like, damn, boy! Can you get BB? Is he awake? He was sleeping the last time I went out. I'm buying the banana if it works as a dildo. I mean, anything's a dildo if you're brave enough. Are you on TikTok? I'm not. I downloaded it, and the first time I opened it, it gave me James Charles and Liza Koshy TikTok. And then I was like, I know those people. And then it gave me 7 million shit ones. And I was like, oh, this is not that great. I'd much rather just watch the TikToks through YouTube when people have curated them and the good ones come out instead of having to watch 7 million god-awful TikToks of people sitting in their car going, and I'm like, I don't get it. Maybe I'm a boomer. I don't get TikTok. BB equals big bussy. Why is bussy a thing now? I've heard bussy for the longest time, but why it seems like it's coming back now. Did something happen? Still playing horror games? Yeah, I uploaded 3 of them today. Oh, American and Una's honest video. Got it. That makes a lot of sense. Because Bussy's like, Bussy's an old meme. That's what you get for a boomer. Bussy is Mark's new favorite word. He's so late to memes every time. He always gets to memes late, and then he says them too much. And it's like, come on, man. Be with it. Be with the memes. Just watch Meme Time, and you'll know all the up-to-date memes. Even though I'm even late to the memes half the time on Meme Time. Do you know Kojima's going to work on a horror game? I did. I saw an article linked on Google that talked about him doing a horror game. Well, I mean, I know he was going to do Silent Hills with Norman Reedus before Death Stranding, and that got canned because of Konami. But I'm excited to see what he'll do. Are you and Mark fighting? Yes. How is Death Stranding not a horror game? It has elements of horror for sure. You still going to VidCon? I am, Ava. I'm going to VidCon London and VidCon LA. I won't be going to PAX next year. I need a break from the PAXs. The stuff behind the scenes is just getting a little too disorganized. And it's every time we go, there's different information. Like I'm like, hey, go here for this thing, and then it's like, oh wait, no, it's not there. It's in a completely different place, and then people get fucked over constantly for it. I'm just kind of like, ugh, I need a break from that. VidCon is really organized, and the way their method of like doing signings and everything is so much more organized. Getting to and from the venue is organized. And if it's in London, I'm like, I might as well go. And it's at a good time. PAX East this year is in February. Jesus. Kuro, thank you for the 100 bits. Small correction because I'm an idiot. You're not an idiot. I can't get the kit with sweatpants to ship. The other ones do ship, but I want the sweatpants. Oh. Okay. I'll let them know. The sweatpants are really nice. They're my favorite sweatpants ever. Oh, I'll see you there, Hannah. I'm still not sure if you suit the beard. That's fine. You don't need to be sure about my facial hair ever. Why did you and Mark not collab for so long? Different reasons. Schedules, timing. Just for those who are curious, no, Septiplier did not drive me and Mark apart. I see that posted all the time. Septiplier got way too far and it needed to stop, but that was not the reason. Comparisons between each other probably drove us apart more than anything else. Because no one wants to go online and see like, this person's better than you because of this thing, and this person's better than you because of this thing. That would put a wedge between anyone's friendship. But the important part is me and Mark are recording together again. I mean, nothing bad happened. We didn't hate each other. We didn't fight. We didn't think badly of each other at all. We're just in separate places, and we can't record together all the time because time zones are bad, location's bad. I like recording stuff in person with people as well, and we can't do that. So, but I reached out to him recently, and I was like, hey, we should play some games together again. I don't know why we haven't. And he was like, yeah, let's do it. And then we did the Bigfoot one. Big face. So I've been messaging the guys more to be like, hey, do you guys want to play this? Have you seen the VR game Boneworks? No. What is Boneworks? Ooh. It's made by Stress Level Zero. What have they made? Oh! Duck Season and Hover Junkers. That's the Corridor Digital guys, right? Or at least some of them. I know Brandon is part of that team. Boneworks. Yeah, I sure hope it does. Oh, dude, that's awesome. Those are really intense physics. They're just picking up boxes and stuff, but it actually looks like it has like weight and proper physics to it and everything. That's cool. When's it come out? December 10th. I will play that. Please remind me if I forget. Prop Hunt? Yeah, we should! I want to play Prop Hunt, but the others don't. Or at least they didn't last time. Anytime Prop Hunt's brought up, it's like, eh. Because we just end up playing the same maps over and over again, but I think enough time has passed now where we feel like, I don't know, we could make fun jokes again. And if we find decent maps, I think it'll really open up. I miss playing Gary's Mod stuff. It was always fun to play, people enjoyed watching it, the videos always did well. I don't know, let's do more of it. Let's go back to 2016 YouTube. Can we, please? Let's go back to 2014 to 2016 YouTube, when everything was nice. Or at least better. We didn't have to worry about copyright claims, and demonetization, and self-rating, and COPPA, and minors in our videos, and over-excessive swearing. Is it any wonder YouTubers are getting burnt out when you have to constantly filter everything through your head when you're recording? Rexy, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. And Gibbs, thank you for the 100 bits. So many dick jokes. There's only so much dick jokes you can make in Prop Hunt. That's true. We do make a lot of dick jokes playing that. When there was no Fortnite. Fortnite's great. People can say whatever they want about Fortnite, but that's such a hipster mentality to be like, Fortnite bad! It's because it's popular. I mean, for some people they genuinely just don't like playing it, that's fine. But Fortnite as a product and what it is and what it's done is absolutely insane. The in-game events that they do every season are so fucking cool. People are just hard on it because it's everywhere. Which I get, but Fortnite as a game is pretty damn good. I'm just bad at it, so I wish I was good. I like the Black Hole promo for the new season. Yeah, that shit was awesome. They released Fortnite 2, which in and of itself is a meme. And they did it by shutting down the entire game for what was supposed to be a few days, but then the trailers leaked and they had to release it again early. But they shut the whole game down. No other game, apart from like Final Fantasy XIV, but they shut down their game because their game was shit and they had to remake it. But Fortnite was popping off. Everybody was playing it. Everyone fucking loves Fortnite. And then they shut it down and broke everyone's minds. No game has done that when they've been booming before. And I love that. That takes some balls to do. It is everywhere, though. And when it shows up in Avengers, you're kind of like, Now you've dated the movie. You shouldn't put in current day references into things because it just dates it. And then in like 10 years, you look back and you're like, that wasn't really... That doesn't age very well. That ages like milk. What would you do if you suddenly couldn't do YouTube anymore? Play video games, eat ass, drive fast. I don't know, if YouTube exploded in the morning, I'd be fine. I'd do something else creative. I'd put all my time into an ego project. I'd make a movie. I'd make a game. I'd write a story. I'd do something creative. As long as I have a way of still being able to interact with people and bringing you guys along to the next thing, then that's cool. I wouldn't be surprised, actually, if you saw a lot of YouTubers quit next year. I think everyone's just kind of getting tired. There's a big feeling of like, ugh, on YouTube these days, where it feels like, oh, such a slog to get through. That I've just heard more YouTubers complain this year than any year. And if the COPPA stuff does go through, and it might not be as bad as people think it is, but that's not really the point. If people just feel like creatively like, ugh, it's just so many hoops to jump through, they might just give up and not. Are you going to quit? I mean, eventually, yeah. Issue with quitting YouTube is that there's nowhere else really to go. I guess, yeah, but it depends on what you want to do. If you want to do, like, daily YouTube uploads like that, yeah, there's not really anywhere else you could go to do that and still get paid the same way you could on YouTube. Which in and of itself is part of the problem, but we'll see. I'm going to TwitchCon in Amsterdam next year. I've thought about it because Evelyn's from the Netherlands, so we talked about it'll probably coincide really easily for us. But I don't know yet. TwitchCon last year was just... there wasn't a whole lot to do. And not many of my friends go to a TwitchCon, especially in Europe. So it was just a little... sparse. But it's a good way to go and meet you guys close to home. I'm really excited for Little Nightmares 2. Me too, Lauren. It's gonna be fun. Little Nightmares 2, Kerbal Space Program 2. YouTube is an example of how to mess up a great thing. I mean, the site is gigantic. It's fucking huge, and it's so hard to coalesce everything into the one place. If you actually talk to people from YouTube about YouTube, you get a little more of an understanding of it, and you... I don't want to say you pity them in a way, but it's definitely a case of like, they really should just open up and talk about it honestly. But they have too many shareholders and advertisers and everything to please, so they can't really speak openly and honestly. Sympathetic, yeah, that's what I'm looking for, thank you. Who said that? Bex, thank you. Because you just realize that they are trying hard, it's just sometimes you change one thing and the site's so big and has so much code and there's so many people that it gets fucked up. I liken YouTube to LA, where LA has a traffic problem. Everyone knows about it, everyone sits in it, everyone complains about it, but at the end of the day, it works, it gets you to where you need to be, and it doesn't really damage your life all that much. But to fix it, you would have to shut everything down for a considerable amount of time just to build it all back up again in a better way. But LA is built in a way now that you can't do that. You can't change the road system because it's not built in a grid. So you just can't do that. It's built all over the place because it's an old city built upon and upon and upon and upon. So it got bloated and now you can't change it again. So it's the same with YouTube. There's so much code in it now that to change one of the older codes to update it would probably break so many more other things. So you can't do that. So you'd have to shut the whole site down for about a year and get all the engineers on it and then come back with YouTube 2.0. But you'd lose out on too much money, and that's not to say that it would even work again when it came back up. Or it's not worth it. It's completely pointless to do something like that. So you have to keep adding on to this thing and hope that you're streamlining it, which of course you can't because there's just so much of it. And so much content gets uploaded every single day, and they have so many other things to keep in mind and get all the ducks in the same order. Just for my type of upload, there are so many laws and hoops to get through just to get my video onto the platform. And that has to coincide with keeping advertisers happy, keeping kids safe, keeping audiences happy, keeping sub boxes open, keeping the algorithm going so they get more growth. And you get more money because you can't just keep growing forever. Eventually you have to plateau and go backwards. Unless you have a... whatever. I'm not a business person, but you know what I mean. So imagine that just for one video on my channel. Couple that with all the videos on everybody's channels just for gaming. And then you have stuff like lifestyle that has a completely different set of rules. You have stuff like beauty. Music has all these different laws got to do with copyright and how you distribute it and how you clamp down on people re-uploading it. All that kind of stuff. It's too big. It's too much. Do you think YouTube could ever fully be saved then? I mean, I don't know. Maybe. But it's in a crossroads where... oh, see you later, Bright. It's in a crossroads where they don't know whether they should focus on audience interaction and the community side of things, because that's what it's been built upon, or growing it and offering bigger budget things because of stuff like Netflix and everything coming out. So they have to fight both sides and try and meet in a happy middle. And for the most part, it works. People have a job on YouTube. Sure, we complain about the stuff that shouldn't be happening and can be fixed and made better, but at the end of the day, I do get to do YouTube as my job. It is a well-paying job, and I'm not in a bad place at all. So there's only so much complaining I can do before I'm like, you know what? I get to play video games for a living and do whatever I want. I'm my own boss, and I get to sit in my house and do whatever I want. I shouldn't be complaining. An average Dutch student cycles 1 hour to school every day. I've been to the Netherlands many times now, and I can definitely believe that. There's so much bike priority. It's so cool. Is it fun being your own boss? It is, but it isn't. It's easy to not be hard on yourself to keep up with stuff. And doing anything, doing any sort of work is about efficiency. You get efficient at what you do. You start off learning how to do it, you figure out the best ways of doing it, and then you become hyper efficient at doing it to get the maximum output versus the minimum input. That's what work is. That's what being efficient is. But at some point then you end up doing it so efficiently, like uploading games every day. I could do that in my sleep. Because it's not a hard thing to sit down and record a game. It's a hard thing to remain entertaining while doing it. But I could sit down and record games. It probably wouldn't get the same traction, but it would still generate stuff and it would still keep going. But that gets boring, it gets predictable, it gets routine. So you end up creatively getting bored and you want to do other things. And that always happens around the 5 to 6 year period. Between 5 and 7 years, there's always a period where the people are like, okay, I'm really efficient at this, that's great. And then the audience is like, cool. What else? Because people get bored of watching the same thing. And people get bored of making the same thing. And then the YouTuber is like, yeah, what is next? What else do I do? I've reached the top of this hill. Where do I go? And then it's like, okay, do I keep climbing this hill? There's no more peak to go. Do I circle this hill? Do I go down and climb another hill? And most people end up doing that, and that's why I start doing stuff like meme time and doing stuff like the weird products and everything, because it's just more fun. Sitting and recording games every day is great, but you hit a wall eventually where it's like, I can't just sit and play random games every single day because it's It's just not creatively fulfilling. And if it's not creatively fulfilling, I won't be entertaining. If I'm not entertaining, you won't be entertained. All of that stuff kind of falls in together. So between 5 and 7 years, people are like, what else do I want to do? And then YouTube audience is like, yeah, what else do you want to do? And then you're like, yeah, what else do I want to do? Do I miss playing Happy Wheels? No. Happy Wheels was just the same thing over and over again. Super fun at the time, but now it's not like one of those games where people tend to think that Happy Wheels is one of my favorite games ever made because I uploaded so many episodes on it, but no, it was just a fun, entertaining thing to do, and people clearly liked it. So it always gave me energy to get back into the next episode to be like, here we go again, something familiar. But after doing that for 100 episodes, you kind of be like, it'd be like that. More quizzes? What other weird ones were there? I'll go back to that site and see if there's any other strange ones. Like the one that's like, when will I die? Am I a sadist? Are you gonna play Jedi Fallen Order? I've been playing some of it in my spare time. It's not really clicking with me yet. I like the visual style of it and I like the exploration and stuff in it, but the combat is kind of turning me off. Because recently I went through Bloodborne and Dark Souls 3 again, and those are so perfectly hitbox oriented that going to something that's emulating that kind of style but with clumsier hitboxes kind of annoyed me. But I want to give it a chance because everybody else is saying how fun it is. So I might just go into it for the story. It gets better as you unlock new skills. Okay, I'll give it a chance. I won't quit on that! You hyped for the new episode of Life is Strange 2? Honestly, not really. I wish I was, but the last few episodes of season 2 are kind of like... I feel like I'm kind of going through the motions with them sometimes. Some of the episodes are just really bad, and then others have like little glimmers of good moments, but... I like Life is Strange for the sci-fi elements. And I like them for the powers and the world building and that kind of stuff. And, oh, what does this mean? It's showing the powers, but... It seems like most people enjoy Life is Strange for the teen drama aspect of it, and that kind of thing, and I'm just not really into that. The characters don't really... They don't sing to me. Life is Strange 1, they did, and I was way more into it, because the characters were better, the setting was better, the stakes were better, and the powers were more relevant and way better. Whereas now it kind of feels like the powers are kind of a byproduct of the teen drama, and just kind of a side character, and they're not really part of it anymore. Until something at the end of each episode has to happen and Daniel goes crazy and then it's like, oh yeah, now you have your powers. But I'll play it and I'll give it a fair shot and I'll finish out the season. There's only one episode left anyway, so it'd be lame not to finish it off. I think season 1 is just kind of lightning in a bottle, and season 1 isn't like amazing, it's just fun. But I don't think they'll be able to capture that magic again. There is a new game from them coming out though called... Oh god, I can't, it's like called Tell Me... Oh, it's called Tell Me Why. I was gonna say, it's like Tell Me Why, and I remember, Tell Me Why! They have a new game coming out called Tell Me Why. So if you search Don't Nod, Tell Me Why. It's their new game, and I don't know what it's about. Upcoming adventure game from Don't Nod Entertainment, published by Xbox Game Studios. Don't Nod stated that Tyler is the first transgender playable character from any major studio, and they had worked with GLAAD to make him an authentic representation of the trans experience. I don't know what GLAAD means, or stands for. Gay and Lesbian Alliance Against Defamation. That's cool. Set to be released in 3 episodes in mid-2020 for Xbox One. Oh, and Microsoft Windows. The game is centered around twins Allison and Tyler, who travel to their childhood home in Alaska and must come to terms with the events from their childhood, particularly for Tyler as he transitioned to male since then. The story involves how their childhood situation influenced... My font on Google is all broke, so it's hard to read. It affects their mother. Don't Not say that. Yeah, I read that. The game, the player will revisit parts of the old home with both of the twins and experience separate visions and memories of what transpired. That's cool. The player will make decisions for the pair based on which version of the past events to believe and will impact the game's outcomes. That's cool. I like that. So you go in as both characters and each one of them see memories a different way and you have to try and figure out which one is the truth. That's cool. I like that. It still might be teen drama heavy, it sounds like, with no powers and stuff, but the powers are what I like because I don't think Don't Nod are the best writers. And some of the dialogue, it just kind of makes me not be super invested in it. But it's a different idea, it's a different concept. I'll give it a shot. Hannah, thank you for the 100 bits. I've fallen really behind on your content lately because my new job has me so busy, but the videos I do get to watch every now and then are a great stress reliever, so thank you. Thanks, Hannah. I appreciate it. And I mean, you don't need to watch everything. But it's very sweet that you felt bad for not keeping up with it. You do you. Job comes first. Plus, that's another reason why stuff like Meme Time and the weird products and any video that's not a gaming thing are important too, because that's the type of stuff that I feel like I would watch being so busy. I would watch something, because if I see 3 hours of Death Stranding, I'm probably never going to watch it if I'm busy. So it's nice to have a balance of other stuff that people who are busy can, it's more easily digestible content. You don't need to know what came before, you don't need to know what comes after. It's just a little slice of life, and it's fun to watch for that little moment. Lucas, thank you for the 500 bits. Jack, next year on December 30th, 2020 will be the 20th anniversary of the original Bionicle toy line and storyline. It's also a long shot, but would you consider playing that old Flash game, I don't know, Mata Nui? On stream or something for that. I mean, I can't promise anything because I'm not really into that stuff, but I'll definitely take your consideration for it. I'll look into it. Lizzie, thank you for the 1,000 bits. You as a person are the reason why we stay. Watching you grow and evolve and connecting with the community is the best part of your channel. Well, that's sweet. Thank you. Dashington, thank you for the 10 months. Or 18 months, Jesus. Do I not do Ocean Man anymore? Oh, I forgot. Does Hydrate Bot even show up? Ocean Man's on the Discord. Shiria, thank you for the 2,000 bits. Hi Sean, how are you? I just want to say that I'm not sure if we'll ever get the chance to meet again, but I honestly feel so lucky and really glad to have gotten the chance to meet you at PAX East. This year at PAX East, love you so much. That's really sweet, thank you. Shiria, I would remember your face if I saw it. But I appreciate that, thank you. I'm glad we did get to meet. Ava, thank you for the 100 bits. I've been super busy lately and have had no time to watch any videos, but my time is finally freeing up. Excited to start watching again. Oh, that's nice. Thanks. But yeah, I mean, I get it. Everyone's growing up. Everyone's busy. There's a lot of people who were in school watching the channel 7 years ago and now all have full-fledged jobs. I'm like, I get it. You do you. It's really nice to know that even if you're not watching all the content, you're still here. That actually probably means more to me. It means more to me to have somebody still be here in the community interacting with it and being a person and interacting with me as a person than it would be if you just watched everything and didn't care about any of that side of things, because I like the human side of it more than just sheer entertainment. Don't get me wrong, that's fun, but some of my best memories of doing YouTube are because of you and the stuff we do together. Not just because I upload this thing and it does well. That would be such a hollow experience for me. Rokath, thank you for the 100 bits. Haven't been having a great day, so this is nice. Oh, I'm sorry that your day was bad. Hope that tomorrow was better. And if it's not, one of them will come along soon. And even if it's not soon, they'll come along eventually. So hang in there and keep going. Man, your fans are really sweet. I love this community. Yeah. They're good beans. That's why I miss doing these types of streams, because it's nice to just kind of like hang out and chat. That's why I miss doing these types of streams, because it's nice to... I opened up the stream like a dupe. Whoops. That was not what I meant to click. Game Awards predictions? Oh. What do we have for the Game Awards? What are people nominated for? And the nominees are, I mean, there's a lot of them. Game of the Year is between Control, Death Stranding, Resi 2, Sekiro, Smash, and The Outer Worlds. I personally would vote for Resident Evil 2. I've played all of them except The Outer Worlds. I played Control in my spare time. Really interesting game, but I don't think it's Game of the Year. It had a... Control deserves an award for art direction because it had a super striking visual identity, and I fucking love that. Death Stranding, as much as I liked it, I think it was very inconsistent. And it's very up and down. As a piece of art, I think that it's really good. But Resi 2 was the one that I remember most fondly. That was such an amazing game. An amazing remake, an amazing game on its own. It's just a fun-ass video game. It has a decent story, the characters in it are fun, the gameplay itself is top-notch. Sekiro I liked, but I feel like it's very shallow. Especially going back and playing Bloodborne and Dark Souls again, it's like, I have no intention of playing Sekiro again. Not anytime soon, because there's no depth to it. There's no other armors you can get. There's no other weapons you can get. There's no other builds you can do like you can with the old games. So it just left me feeling like it's a really good game, but... And the art style in it was amazing, but again... I think Resi 2 was the most replayable out of all of them. Smash, I like, but I don't think a fighting game will ever win Game of the Year. Wait, has a fighting game won Game of the Year and I'm wrong? Maybe. Some of the other ones I'm interested in. I don't care about action game, action adventure game. A lot of these are the same things. Art direction is Control, Death Stranding, Grease, G-R-I-S, Sayonara, Wild Hearts. Never even heard of it. No, don't get me wrong. That's not to say that it shouldn't be nominated. I've just never heard of it. Sekiro and Link's Awakening. Art style, I'd probably give to Sekiro. Or Death Stranding. Death Stranding and Control have a lot of the same kind of visual striking imagery. It's very, like, sci-fi. But I'll give it to Death Stranding over Control. Because Control is really cool, but Death Stranding has all these, like, little things. I said it in the playthrough that if you see these types of strands now, you think of Death Stranding. If you see a baby in a pod, like, that baby in the pod is so visually identifiable just towards Death Stranding and nothing else, that alone shows that Kojima had like a pure vision of what he wanted. Them crying after the BTs show up, the BTs themselves, the little Audra deck, like all that stuff was so consistently amazing in that game that you can't not appreciate that despite what the game actually is. Grease is gorgeous as well, but I haven't played that much of it. Grease just wasn't that fun to play. Audio design, Modern Warfare, Control, Death Stranding. Death Stranding definitely deserves audio design award. Resi 2 was also pretty good in the sound design department. Especially the surround sound implementation, but Death Stranding sound design is movie quality. A lot of games use really cheap sound effects because they don't go off and gather their own. It's like stock sound effects that they merge and tweak and build. But something like a Battlefield game records all their own gun sounds. They go to like the Swedish military and actually record guns and tanks and planes. And listening to Death Stranding, you can tell that they recorded a lot of sounds themselves, which is called Foley, and put it into the game for their game. Like every buckle, every movement of clothing, every tiny little thing in the game has sound. Which most games don't. They have like one sound for like moving, but Death Stranding had like each individual piece of clothing had its own sound. Each footstep was completely different. The music in it was amazing. The soundtrack was amazing. The sound design for the BTs and the sound design of some of the cutscenes and the dialogue was so perfectly pristine, not Christine, what am I saying? Pristinely recorded that I think it deserves it. What else is good? Community support. Content Creator of the Year. Courage, Dr. Lupo, Ewok and GREFG. I've never seen their stuff. Ewok has a Fortnite World Cup shirt on, so I'm assuming they play Fortnite, and Shroud. I want to say Dr. Lupo or Shroud. I like both of them, not just as... I've met Dr. Lupo a few times, and he's delightful. Such a nice man. And if you watch his streams, he champions a lot of the same morals that I do here. He's a really big advocate for mental health. He's a really big charity fundraiser person as well. So I'll probably go with him. Shroud just for sheer gaming capability. A lot of esports ones. Family Game, Luigi's Mansion, all Nintendo. All the family games are Nintendo games. Fighting game, I don't really care. Fresh indie game. House for Untitled Goose Game. Yeah. Kyonk am Goose. Game direction, Death Stranding. Again, other games are good. Resi 2 I had more fun playing than Death Stranding, but again, Death Stranding's vision to what it ended up being. The gameplay on its own is very questionable, but the game direction is for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. Resi 2 is not incredibly innovative. It's just a really well-made game, and Sekiro is playing on the stuff from Dark Souls and Bloodborne, and Control is playing on old Remedy games. Outer Wilds definitely deserves to be there. That indie game about space that I played, because that's a completely awesome concept, and I'm so glad that they're there among these other titans. You have Remedy, Kojima, Capcom, and FromSoft, and then Outer Wilds just in the middle of them. That's a huge win for them. Just being nominated in that category with all those other companies and games is already them winning. But Death Stranding, for what it tried to do, and again, the story and the concepts and the sheer visual identity for that game, I think, stuck with me a lot more. Put it this way, Death Stranding really inspired me to make things. Playing Control, Resi 2, Sekiro, or Outer Wilds, not really. Death Stranding really made me want to create my own projects. So for me, that's why it would win. Indie game? Kyonk. Has to be Kyonk. Multiplayer game? Maybe Borderlands 3? I played through all of Borderlands 3 with Evelyn and it was really fun. Modern Warfare? I had fun playing that. Narrative? I really want to play A Plague Tale Innocence. That came out, again, Evelyn played it and she really liked it, and other people have said, other people have said that it was really, really fun, so I want to play that myself as well. Maybe that should be a long Let's Play we do too. Might be a little too late for it now though. But narrative, I've heard Disco Elysium is really good, but it's just more like it's a story-driven game. It's just kind of like walking around and interviewing characters and reading and listening to details and everything, so I don't think I'd do a series on it, but I definitely want to try it out. Ongoing game? I don't know, Apex? Performance! We've Ashley Birch for Parvati in Outer Worlds. I haven't heard her in it, but I'm very familiar with Ashley Birch's work. Courtney Hope for Jessie in Control. Nah, I think the character was kind of poorly written, so I don't know. The performance didn't really stand out to me. Laura Bailey as Kate Diaz in Gears 5. I haven't played it, but Laura Bailey is really good. Mads Mikkelsen as Cliff. Matthew Porretta as Dr. Casper Darling in Control. And Norman Reedus as Sam Porter Bridges. As much as I like Norman Reedus, I don't think his character in the game is that diverse. I think he's mainly silent for most of it to kind of be like an avatar for the player. To kind of let you play it out, and he doesn't really say a whole lot. His performance, he doesn't really do that different. He's kind of just the same character the entire way through. But Mads Mikkelsen's character is really good. He was the best character in that game, so I would say Mads Mikkelsen should win that. But it is really weird to see Norman Reedus and Mads Mikkelsen in a game performance character category with all these other people. It's like we're hitting that merge point now where big actors are coming in to maybe snipe awards from people who have been in games since the beginning. That's wild. Thought they'd have Troy for Higgs. Higgs is not that great a character though. He's not fleshed out. He has so much potential, and Troy did a great job on him. Not to knock against him, but I just don't think he's not really anything. By the time you finish the game, I'm not going to spoil it here, but he just kind of goes nowhere. And he left a bad taste in my mouth by the end of it. He hot though. That's true, Archive. He is very hot, but that's just because Troy's hot. Not because Higgs is hot. But yeah, my vote goes to Mads Mikkelsen. I'll also be at these awards, so it'll be interesting to see which of these actually come true. Score and music. Death Stranding, because it's really the only one I've played that the music stood out to me. It's like Cadence of Hyrule, Devil May Cry 5, Kingdom Hearts 3, and Sayonara Wild Hearts. This is why I'm not voting on all of them, or saying anything on most of them, because I don't really know. VR or AR game? It's weird to see Five Nights at Freddy's not be nominated. Their VR game is really damn good. You can say what you want about Five Nights at Freddy's, but the VR game is really good. I'd say it's probably better than the actual Five Nights at Freddy's games. But I would say Beat Saber definitely deserves to win VR game. Because Beat Saber revolutionized VR for a lot of people. It's the game a lot of people I know who have VR play daily. That's about it. Stuff like strategy game, sports racing game, like I don't really have any stakes in those. Mobile game. I guess Switch stuff counts as mobile games now. Either way, it'll be interesting. Death Stranding is nominated the most out of anything. But some of the categories I'm like, man, there really wasn't that many standout games for that category this year. VR chat. That's not a bad one either. VR chat is kind of revolutionizing a lot of stuff in VR too. I'm really excited for next year's VR games because we have Half-Life Alyx coming out, and that's going to be a big one. It's probably going to be the best VR game ever made. What's your opinion on Game Informer? I don't know too much about them. I used to buy their magazine when I was a teenager. But I don't know anything really about them. How they conduct their ethics and their journalism and what type of stuff they talk about. Tommy Earl Jenkins deserves a nod for the best single scene performance. It was good, but it was also a little over the top. There's a fine line between drama and melodrama, and his kind of went a little too over the top, but he did put in that's his best part of the whole game is that one scene at the end. Y'all, I just watched The Joker, that shit's deep. I don't know if I'd say The Joker's that deep. Joker, I love The Joker. I've seen it 3 times in the cinema. It's one of the only movies I've ever done that with. Because I went on my own when it came out. Because Evelyn was back in the Netherlands. I was like, oh yeah, that was fun. And I fucking loved it. I love that movie, by the way. It's such an inspiring movie, and Joaquin Phoenix's acting in it is one of my favorite performances ever. But watching it, I was like, that's awesome, and then I met up with Evelyn, and we went to see it together, because she wanted to see it, and I was like, I want to see it again. And then the guys here in Brighton, we have a group called Mad Lads, which I've mentioned before, and so for Mad Lads, we went and watched it again. And they wanted to go see it, and I was like, I just want to hang out with my friends. So I went and watched it a third time. And as somebody who's into that type of character and that type of performance, and in a lot of ways, like, wants to emulate that and really study it and figure out how to act, that movie for me was awesome. It's my favorite movie this year. But the script is not that great. It's stunning cinematography, incredible acting, and a great soundtrack. And then if the script was as good as all of those other three things, it would be a fucking knockout movie. But it was a little let down by some of the writing. I love how you pick apart movies. It's so eye-opening. I don't know. I like movies. I like story. I like narrative. I like characters. I like visuals. It's the same with games. I think that's why I like games so much, is because I like going over them. I think I have a good eye for those things, and I think that I have a good understanding. I don't know how to write movies. I don't know how to shoot them or anything, but I definitely know what I like and what I don't like. And I think that my styles and my thoughts on things, I don't know. I'd like to think I know a little bit of what I'm saying. What movie am I going to be in? I'm going to be in Free Guy next year. Or at least I recorded lines for it. Have you heard about Kerbal Space Program 2? I have, Lo-Fi. I was talking about it earlier. I'm really excited for it. Are you ready for The Last of Us 2? Yep. I'm very excited for that too. Sally Face Episode 5 releases in 2 weeks. Sure does, Darwin. I'm going to play that too. I can shout what the fuck in Donald Duck's voice. That's a talent. Should I watch Dark in German or English? It depends on your tolerance for foreign languages and keeping up with stories. It definitely makes it harder to remember every little thing. Dark is a German show on Netflix that I highly recommend anybody watches, because I really love it, and I think the story in it is amazing, and what they do with it, it's all about, there's like time travel stuff and everything in it. It's so fucking cool. And there's 2 seasons of it out now, and I think it's really mind-bending, and what they're able to achieve in that story. It's like people talk about Stranger Things for being good sci-fi, and Dark in some ways is a lot like that, but it's done so much better. But if you can't keep up with stuff in another language like that, and this is something that you have to really think and listen to and be attentive for, if you can't do that in another language, then I'd advise English. But if you want to go for the authenticity of it, if you want to go for the best version of it, and if you want to really hear it the way it's supposed to be, then go with German. I watched it in German and I loved it. Who's in the Mad Lads group? Just the guys here at Brighton. So it's me, Felix, Joel, Rumi, his editor Jonas, then Dave from Boy in a Band, he comes down to Brighton fairly often, PJ, Kick the PJ, and Brad, Felix's old editor. So we all get together whenever we can, and just most times just go to a pub and have a few drinks and chat and keep in touch with each other. Because it's, the older you get, the more you realize that you don't just hang out with friends anymore, you have to make appointments to hang out with your friends, because everyone has their jobs and their lives, and it's hard to get everybody in the same place together. So we made it as a reason to like get all together in the same place. Who's the best at karaoke out of the Mad Lads? I mean, Joel's a singer, so probably him. When was the last time you guys hung out? Last week. Can't remember what day. It was just me and Felix and Dave, though. Everybody else was busy. So we just had a few drinks and chatted. I've noticed this now with my friends since we're all left for uni. Yep, that's where it happens. Once you leave like secondary school, that's when the splits start going because everyone goes to college or work or does whatever with their lives. So it's hard to keep up with everybody. Do you know why Disney hasn't released Disney Plus to you guys? I don't know if you're actually asking, Neek, or if you're like leading to a joke. Like, you know why Disney Plus wasn't released to you guys? Because you suck. Jonas has a good voice too. He does. Jonas has like actually written music before that's been very successful in Sweden, I think. How do you beat Rom in Bloodborne? You don't, Snail. Rom beats you. Rom's my least favorite boss in that game. Go into it, use a weapon that you can put lightning on, get some bolt paper. You can buy it in the inside shop if you defeat Parl, Dark Beast Parl. Then fight Rom, summon someone if you have to. I usually summon someone now because it's just not worth going in on my own. Be patient with it. Kill all the mini spiders first, and then fight Rom. Because it'll be a lot easier. Watch out for the second and third phase because he starts doing magic. He only has 3 magic attacks. 2 of them are close, so you can kind of bait him by going close and then walking away and then going in close again. And equip stuff that has high arcane defense. Usually church clothing. What headphones do you use? Zach, I am using the Sony... Is it written on them? Sony MXH... I don't know. Sony's noise cancelling headphones. They're really nice. Not only are they... I didn't get them because they're noise cancelling. I don't really care about that for recording. But they just have some of the best audio I've ever heard out of headphones. Do you still have any friends from Ireland? No. Who do you think was better, Joaquin Phoenix or Heath Ledger? They're completely different Jokers, so I can't pick. It all depends on what style of that character you're into. And both have their merits. The Sony WH-1000MX3. There you go, Lumetric just posted it. Sony partnership? No. I just really like them. Karaoke is more fun if you can't sing. Amen, Lee. That's my wheelhouse. That's where I live. I can sing a little bit, but I usually overdo it and blow out my voice, and that's when it starts to get real fun. What about Jared Leto? Let's never speak about that abysmal performance ever again. Chic, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. That's so sweet, thank you. Or drunk. It usually goes hand in hand, Kays. Do some impressions, please. I wouldn't know what to do. That, and I've been talking a lot for the last like 2 hours consistently, so my throat's a little dry. I did do a Pennywise impression in the last episode of Little Misfortune that comes out tomorrow. War has changed. Classic. What's my go-to karaoke song? You heard it on the Emilia Clarke stream. The Mulan, I'll Make a Man Out of You. That or My Way by Frank Sinatra. News on Cloak. We restocked today. All the old stuff. Well, not all of it, but some of it. Do you like heroes or villains better? Villains. Villains are usually have more depth to them, depending on the source material. Ruby, thank you for the 100 bits. What is the G Fuel flavor that you got that's bright green? I think it's Twisted Candy. What's your favorite Disney movie? WALL-E. Even though it's Disney Pixar, still counts. Any plans to restock any of your other cloak campaigns? Maybe. I'd have to talk to them about it. But we're kind of going on the stuff that people keep asking for. And what we can restock. Oh, what's up, Churro? Welcome to Twitch. Will you make new Jacksepticeye merch? Yes. I really want to start making more stuff around the Jacksepticeye stuff. We have the memes is memes shirt that came out, and I really like that. I just think it's cool looking. And they did a new iteration of the eye logo. But I can't come up with many designs myself, so I need somebody to help. We need some artist people to come in and be, because they have artists that work on the stuff, but they're usually not up to date on what's going on in the channel. Is your fan fiber merch gone for good? Yes. Frosty, thank you for the... Or F20 thank you for the 510 bits. Hello, Dad. When will we get a new Discord invite link? I don't know. I think we'd probably be able to open it up again soon. I think the mods have a good handle on it, and I think we also brought in some people to help out the mods too, who don't have full mod privileges, but they're able to just like flag down messages and spam and things like that, and that's been a big help so far. If you need me to make any designs, hit me up, I can draw. Oh, Camilla. It's sweet that you think that. When will you play Minecraft? I'll get back to it when I can. I'm sorry, gamers. There's the Discord? I was never informed of this. Yeah, I don't post about it very often, and it's not open all the time. Not because I want to give people exclusive access or anything, but just to make sure that to make sure that it works. But we're setting it up where if you sub here, you'll be able to get a Discord invite link as well. Not to incentivize the Discord, but just to give you something if you do sub. Of course, you don't have to. Are you on the server often? I don't message much, but I definitely peruse. There's a lot of rooms in it, so it's hard to keep up with all of them. But it's nice to see some people's reactions to different things. If you could create a G Fuel flavor, what would you do? Coke Zero Sugar. Ruby, thank you for gifting 2 subs. Is Camilla an actual chicken? Yes. Once you become a famous movie star, it's over for Coke. I want to make my own Coke. Do you look in the theory and ego panic rooms? Yes. Those are some of the most fun rooms to go into when something happens. Potato Coke? Ew. Yes, I'll make potato flavored drinks. Everyone would love that. I'm gonna make my own Coke. Okay, yeah, that sounds bad. I'm gonna make my own powder Coke. I miss these chat streams so much, it reminds me of reading your comments. Me too, Blue. It's nice to hang out and reconnect with you guys. Just kind of talk about stuff, because you don't get to... As much as I love interacting with people and doing different videos that try to do that, it's not always the same thing. Firsts! Thank you for the 510 bits. Nitro boosters should get Link, not gonna lie. I don't know the ins and outs of it. So I will definitely look into that as well. It's not because I don't think they don't deserve it, it's just because I haven't thought about it. Rexy, thank you for the 5 subs again. Jesus. What happened to the lamp? It spoke up, folks, and I'm tough. Is it so cold that you need to wear a hoodie inside? No, it's just not warm enough to have to take it off. Plus my window's open to let the breeze come in. Gracefully, thank you for the tier 1 sub. What does the board in the back say? I think it just says meme right now. A wild Marpeck appears. What's up, Marpeck? It's meme time? It was meme time. It's not meme time anymore, though. It'll probably be meme time again some other time. Lamp looking thick. Jesus. Dude, damn, boy! That's a thick lamp! Damn, boy! It's always meme time. Damn right, Camilla! It's never not meme time. Well, it's meme time summer in the world. Okay, I think I'm probably gonna leave the stream here. I've been streaming for about 2 hours, but it's been nice to hang out again. It's been nice to chat with you guys. I miss these, and I'm glad that the internet actually works. That was the whole point of doing this stream in the first place, was because I wanted to see if we could stream at the same time, because Evelyn's streaming right now. And it does! It works! Cybotics, thank you for the 100 bits. Appreciate it. And Kat, thank you for the 100 bits. If you're really interested in... Oh, thanks, Kat. But I appreciate you guys. Thank you to everybody who showed up. Thanks for all the subs and the bits and all that kind of stuff. It's really sweet of you guys to do. You don't need to do it, but I really appreciate it. It really means a lot. Hopefully I'll be able to do more of these streams going forward now that I can, and we can play some fun games here and there. Maybe stuff that I normally wouldn't play. Oh, Sailor, thank you for the 5 subs right as I'm leaving. Ava, thank you for the 100 bits. Have a good rest of the day. You too. Galen, thank you for the 100 bits. Emir, thank you for the 100 bits. Ruby, thank you for the 100 bits. Oh, so many bits coming in at the end. I'm sorry, I can't get to them all. Stacy, thank you for the 100 bits. I appreciate it. Love you guys. It's good to be back and streaming a little bit more. We'll do it more often in the future. Yeah, since Evelyn's streaming, and since I mentioned her before, and a lot of people are asking what her channel is, let's raid her tonight, and send her some PMAs. She's playing Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, so if you want to see some of that, because I haven't been playing it outside of videos, you can go watch her do it. She's really into it, and it looks like a fun game. So go send her some love. She's very sweet. She's my boo. But again, thank you guys. I appreciate it. So I'm gonna leave that there, and I'll bounce out right as the music is ending. It's like I planned it. I'm a genius. Goodbye.